What's going on? We are back, season 3, Iririki Island, and we are back with another exit interview. The great Steven, I am sad to see you here, but I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about your experience on the season. I'm joined as always by my co-host McKenna, and we have Lilly giving all the questions this season and just being on this journey with us. So, Steven, how are you doing?
Doing well. Just woke up about 2 hours ago.
Nice.
I woke nights, okay?
Yeah.
So
can you talk about the hat you're rocking right now? Because that's all I care about at this moment.
It's the mushroom?
Yes, I love it. Why is that the hat you picked?
The first one I found.
Love it. Before we fully get started into the questions, I just wanted to say, Steven, you were one of, if not my favorite person this season. You went out early, and I was devastated. Like, I was talking the entire rest of the game, being like, all right, how can we get Steven back on the season? Like, all right, do we have Redemption Island to get Steven back? So, like, I thought you were playing an amazing game, and it was just cut too short. So thank you for joining us. And Lilly, you can start us off.
All right. I guess my first question is, how is it like watching the episodes back? I know for me, it was interesting to kind of see what's going on, but what about from your perspective?
It'd be interesting to see, because some of the stuff I misremember what happened, did that happen? I guess it did happen that way. And seeing what my thoughts were, because McKenna and Lauren know Walter, we were in one room for the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know you two hated that, but for me, that'd be fine because I don't have to, much around with and go back and forth. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, no one was throwing out your name, so you were like, all right, we'll just sit here.
Well, I think it also because we are somewhat new players that I think we were too afraid to go to a different room. I know I was. I don't want to go to the other room if no one else is going to be there in the room with me. That was my whole thing I was afraid of.
Yeah, that would be my biggest fear. I mean, scramble rooms frighten me, so I'm totally with you. That kind of leads into my next question. Just how are you feeling about the Caroline and the Jaden vote? You seem pretty confident in knowing when they were going to go.
The Caroline vote, I was very comfortable with because, every name I just threw out. Sorry, McKenna.
Yeah, voting out my mom.
I know. I was confident because that's the only name the one Meredith name threw out, but I was pretty confident Caroline. Jaden, it was pretty foregone just clearly he was going to go home. I'm not sure if we portray very well, but I was P.O. with Jaden.
I bet.
I don't hate the guy or don't dislike him. Nothing but love, but just sitting there waiting, and what is going on?
Might I add, you guys let him do that scramble though, so you guys also should take fault in that. Yes. Was it bad? Absolutely.
Here's the thing. I was not going to do the word puzzle. No way in hell. I am horrible at word puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't going to be me. No way.
Better Jaden than you.
Yeah.
There was one point in the challenge where I was like, oh, yep, we're going to have to wait for Bill. There was one point where I realized, like, Jaden's not getting this puzzle. We have to wait for James to figure out this puzzle. And what is going back.
As soon as you guys picked Jaden to do it, I said, Well, they're not gonna win, so this is awkward.
Well, after Jaden gets voted off, you go into the challenge, and McKenna says, okay, everyone has to elect a chief, and you couldn't break out into your WOTA. You kind of had to do it in front of Dac. And when it came to WOTA, everyone was silent. So you threw up your name, you threw up your hand to volunteer. And I just wanted to know, did you want to volunteer? Was it just because you couldn't take the silence anymore? What made you raise your hand?
A demon, maybe? I'm not sure. I thought we just sitting there and I don't want somebody else what happened something good. Hint, and that good. So I thought what the hell?
And so after you and the other person, Celeste, volunteer, and you essentially get to pick if you want to divvy out the tribes or pick which one you're going to be on. Why did you pick to not divvy them out?
I didn't want to divvy up the tribes because I feel like the person who did that would get, not so much hate, but why did they pick me to go to the tribe when I wanted to be with this person? So that was my thinking. That I don't want to be in that position to be like, okay, you go here and you come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that would put a target on your back more. But I feel like since I picked my tribe to join, I should be like, hey, I choose you guys. I join you. I didn't with that join in with you. That kind of made sense.
Yeah, it's like I picked you guys. I wanted to come here. Now let me work with you. That's smart. I was watching it was like, I'm such a control freak. I would have wanted to divvy it out.
And work out so well.
No, not in this case. I would have done what Steven did. I probably would have been like the person being like, all right, no one's saying anything. Guess I'll do it. And then been like, no, you divide. So I'm totally on Steven's wavelength with this decision here.
Yeah, I definitely think it was the smartest. And then your last decision, which tribe to join, what drew you back to WOTA?
Mainly Meredith, because we have that one-on-one conversation that we feel much tighter with her than Garret or Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like we can't lose again, can we?
Boy, howdy.
Boy, would I wrong.
Did you consider going to Dac, considering that there would have been one more extra original WOTA on there? My
whole thinking was, so Daca and new Daca had 3 members of old Daca and 2 members of WOTA. I didn't want it to be a 3-3 tie and go to wax.
Yeah.
And I think, although in my mind, I was thinking, time to go over to new Daca to be 4-3. I'm not sure you would have allowed that 7-4, but that was my thinking. And I didn't want, either way, I'm going to be down the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
My will say with my closest ally in the game, and maybe we should work together to survive.
Yeah.
It would have been you, Garret, JS, then JM, Bill, and then Tom would have probably joined. Celestina would be on new WOTA. So it would have been interesting for sure if you had picked the other way, because I think the game busts open a little bit more, say Dac loses, because I don't think it's cut and dry, because if you were willing to turn on Garret and JS, one of them might have left at that point. If Dac wanted to work with you, who knows?
Who knows?
It's a can of what ifs. And it's funny because really your role and Tom's role, even though you got to kind of choose, were opposite. Whereas you knew you were going to be at the bottom of whichever tribe in numbers, and Tom knew he would have the numbers no matter which tribe he went to. And so watching him try to decide where to go, were you kind of hoping he would join the new WOTA, or were you like, I can't take another person, please go back to tactics?
I was kind of like, go away. I don't want you to.
Another person.
All the way down 3-2. I don't want 4-2.
Yeah. So once all of that is kind of divvied up, you go straight into the challenge. It's kind of a complex, like stand up, and whoever gets to the closest. I don't know how to describe it. Lauren did a great job in the episode. Everybody's seen it. So we know what the challenge is, but we
Lilly,
didn't get to see.
You sort of also know what this challenge
I was going to say, you definitely participated in this as well.
Yes. Okay. So Stephen, for background, when I did this on my virtual survivor, I was literally the worst person. We just had to stand up for 10 minutes and they ended it and I was still standing. I was the only person still standing.
She was standing at 15 minutes, so she maxed out her time.
So I have no room to talk, but I was interested to see how WOTA strategized. Did anybody seem to kind of take charge in that, or?
I can't remember who took charge. I think we all did the math. Okay, we stand up for this amount of time. I think it was like 2 minutes and something. We ended up like 16 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of hard to count in your head when McKenna learned talking the entire time.
Oops.
Here I am like 1, 2, and that. Oh, let's talk about Blue's Clues. I'm like, shut up.
I was just as annoyed as you were though with the Blue's Clues, so it's fine.
Because you didn't have your glasses, everyone else was entertained.
Oh, I could not see anything.
Well, I should have done with count out loud.
Yeah. It was a good time. What was interesting on Daca, they were like, all right, we'll have like 2 people stand for 30 seconds and then sit down and and then other people time out to get the max time. So it was like more controlled instead of like evenly dividing everything. I forget exactly what the time was, but like that's 2 very different strategies going in to like want the max time versus, all right, let's band together, each take a part in this. And
yeah, whoever decided that for Daca, that was extremely smart, and I can't wait to find out the mastermind behind it, because I would have never thought of it.
We didn't thought it either.
Yeah, right. Somebody extremely smart. So we find out that second version WOTA loses again, and we see in the scramble room you and Meredith stick together and are trying to find out if there's a crack, and it really seemed like none of them were biting. None of them gave any influence or any type of what was going through your head, when it was really like they were like, no, we're good.
I mean, I completely understand it, because I'm in that situation, but I don't want to work with you right now. Maybe later, but not right now. So no hard feelings there. It's like, what else can we do? I guess we pitched our cage. Now we had to fight to the death.
Right. And go ahead, McKenna.
Okay. The only glimmer of hope I saw was James, where he was like, if this was like 1 round later or like 2 rounds later, then I think he would have flipped. But my confusion is why old Daca went you here instead of Meredith, because I think, Stephen, you are a pretty strong challenge performer. So like to keep on like winning, I guess they just weren't worried about winning a challenge because they have the 2 buffers if they lose. But like, I don't know, I I love Meredith. I thought she was a great addition to the cast, but she also voted out my mom. So
My final question for you, Stephen, and then we'll throw it over to Facebook questions. If Meredith had gone home, who would you have tried to align with on this new WOTA tribe? Was there somebody you were kind of?
Definitely James.
James,
You
yeah.
know, we had that good connecting where we say that he said he wouldn't vote for me. So hopefully he didn't vote for me. I didn't see him vote in the episode.
He kind of voted for you.
It's interesting because we didn't get to see how they kind of decided who to vote for. So I wonder how they made that decision.
Me too.
Go.
I want to know too.
I think if I remember correctly, it was just like a Steven. And I think Vinny and Brett really wanted to work with Meredith from the get-go. They like saw her on the Zoom screen and were like, ooh, I think I can work with that, and wanted to like push her.
Only I will my solar helmet.
Exactly. It's
that was my downfall.
Yep. All right, Lauren, let's kick us off with some Facebook questions.
Yeah, we'll kick it off with the spoiler alert winner of Exile Island. Alex Cousins wants to know. It seemed like you might be making some traction with James to work together. If you had gotten your way, which former Dac would you have targeted?
Probably Vinny, because, you know, before we drop, going to Jaden boot, we were just sitting there waiting for travel without talking about the Daca member WOTA, and I forget who brought it up, but someone brought up that Vinny had played before and was really good at the game. So in my mind, we should get out Vinny. That'd be like unite by, you know, he seemed like a good player, so why not vote him out? So one else who a new player can win.
Mm-hmm.
All right. JM wants to know, would you have been down for a specialist alliance if they, Bill, and Celestina got together?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Second question. What was a moment in the game where you found yourself smiling or laughing?
When we voted out McKenna mom.
That was a great moment.
God, no.
That was hilarious. All of your faces just went. And I think you, Stephen, were just like, all right, now we're cursed. And
you were.
What do you know?
We were.
All right, we have a comment here from Celestina. You were such a great energy in the game. Wish we could have played together. All the best. So.
Oh, thank you.
Kind words from that. All right, from Garrett. Here we go. Loved playing with you, my dude. Jay took my question, so instead I'll ask you, what was your wildest theory on what was taking us so long with the Pong challenge when you and Jaden were alone in the breakout room?
Oh.
I can't remember the conversation. We didn't really talk. We just sat there looking at her like. So I had no idea what was going on.
It's crazy because a lot of people were just like, Steven and Jaden are tight, they're strategizing, they're doing anything. And yeah. I was just like, it's weird that you guys would think that, because Jaden didn't seem like all right, we're going to take advantage of this opportunity, where I feel like you would have if Jaden had been like more receptive to that. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't have brought that up.
Those boys are just like sitting in that scramble room, just like waiting to be on the puzzle.
One thing I want to say, with Garret, he have the idol.
Mm-hmm.
if I would have knew he had the idol, I would have gone with him and Jay. But since he didn't tell us he had the idol, I assumed that idol was still somewhere on Wota. And I know I haven't run a show in any of the episodes, but I feel like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, every time we were in the room together and then we left, I will always bring up, so anybody found the idol yet? Anybody have any clues? And everybody like, nope, haven't found it. I was trying to get somebody to tell me who have the idol. No one would say anything.
So if you had found the idol, do you think you would have told somebody at this point in the game?
I would have told my old WhatsApp members so we could use it together to move forward, because I don't see the point of keeping it to yourself, because I feel like too many people in survival in real life go home with idols without telling anybody they have it, or they tell one other person. So I think it would be better to tell more people, that way you could use it together.
I mean, especially because you were down to only 4 members, where it's like, it's helping your game to tell the other WOTA members that you have the idol, rather than keep it a secret. So yeah, I agree, Stephen.
All right, this is from Greg. I was rooting for you to go much further. How would your strategy change if you were to play again?
My strategy would change that I would be more inclined to go to different breakout rooms and try to talk more one-on-one with more people instead of a whole group. Because again, I think Walter, will be all new players, well, not all us, but the majority of the new players, we just didn't want to break apart. Because I think we're afraid that we look bad on us.
I don't blame you one bit. All right, Stephen, for our final question, if you had to sum up your game in one word, what would it be?
Nervous.
I hope that means we'll see more.
Yep. One last thing. So last week, I got married.
Congratulations.
The love of my life. So she was very kind and, understanding, letting me do the whole survival thing. And she was kind of upset that how long did it last?
Got a good one.
Hopefully down the line, when I give her gifts and chocolate to make convince her to let me do this again.
Yes.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
So,
If I
Taylor,
have any say in it, Stephen, I gotta get you back. So I am definitely in any of our production meetings. I'm gonna be pulling for you, my man.
It was great watching you. We all really enjoyed you, and we hope to see you again many times.
Thank you.
All right, Lauren.
Yeah, Stephen, you're a delight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for playing. I hope you had fun. I know it was cut a little bit short, but as McKenna said, maybe we'll see you back down the line. So we'll see what happens with that. But be sure to check out all of our content on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to it. Also, our Facebook group, Survivor Game Show Network. You can find us there with all of our information, everything that's happening. We have content coming out left and right, 2 episodes a week, 2 exit interviews a week, along with a recap. So that's what we have happening on our channel, on our network. So be sure to find us, check us out. Thanks again, Stephen.